Can you, oh, I was going to say, can you give me like 20 seconds before we start? Or we started?
We are just, well, do what you need to do, Shia. I can do the introduction and you can do
Nope.
we are going live, but you
Nope,
can,
we're good.
okay, we're good. Okay. Because once you hit that button,
That's good. We're
right?
good.
Shia, we're good. Okay, great. I'm so glad you're here, Shia Bernard. And welcome to you and to everybody else for 12th Colorable Spotlight of the Month. And that's for the Colorable Business Association, obviously.
Thank
My
you.
name is Mia Yoon. I work for UW-Madison Division of Extension for Outagamie and Winnebago counties, and I work specifically with economic development and entrepreneurs of color in the region. And so Color Bold is the perfect partner for that work. And this monthly Color Bold Spotlight features entrepreneurs of color in Northeast Wisconsin sharing their business stories, strategies, tips, tricks. It's an interactive experience, so please use the chat box to chime in, ask questions, send some love, all of that stuff. Anyways, I have the pleasure to introduce to you Appleton-based Shaia Bernard. And she is one of those entrepreneurs that's wearing a lot of hats. She's a wife, mother, grandmother, writer, author, teacher, speaker, counselor, and minister. She's been coaching women for over 15 years, encouraging whole health, being true to themselves, and living their best life. Her vision for her clients is help clients achieve financial breakthrough, transformation, reach sustainability, and experience financial growth. She's driven to educate and equip her community to become more financially responsible and position ourselves to build generational wealth and be part of a movement that helps the African American community and women to experience more economic advantages. Her mission is to help clients identify, clarify, and achieve their financial goals. And she builds these relationships upon trust and integrity. So we have a lot to dig into. Shia, how are you doing today?
I am doing so well, Mia. Thank you so much for having
Good.
me. How are
It's so good
you?
to have you. I'm doing great. I'm just
Good.
excited to be in the Zoom room with you.
Yes, me
Um,
too.
I think we have a lot of really interesting, fun content to dig into
Well,
with
thank
all the
you.
things that you're doing. So again, you're wearing a lot of hats. Would you mind telling us a little bit more about your motivations to becoming a financial representative and doing financial planning?
Absolutely. So as you mentioned, I've been counseling and coaching women, encouraging women in the area of whole health. And it includes like physical, emotional, spiritual growth. And now there's this area of financial education and helping people get to a place of experiencing financial health. And it's been a desire of mine for many years, especially when I look around and I see a lot of economic disparity. And
Sure.
growing up, I can look and see that some families seem to be doing really well, but others not as much, right? So as I got older, I began to see that there was a very large gap between the wealthy and the communities that I was from. So the desire to really make a difference in that area became stronger, and I knew that one day I'd be able to help and fuel my community in some way in this area. So if we bring that to now, when this opportunity presented itself, I was very mindful and very intentional about saying yes to this. But I do believe it was divine timing. I had my mentor reach out to me at a time I had been asking, hey, where do we go from here? And this opportunity came, and I said yes.
You
And
said
it gives
yes.
me the opportunity to be able to continue to help and share what I know, and continue to learn in the area of finances and teach others in my community in the area of finances, the Black community and women,
Mhm.
and to help them to become more financially wise, to learn strategies, to begin to build the wealth and leave legacies for our children, and to be able to teach them about tools and money and how to use it the way it should be, to save, to spend,
Mhm.
how to help it grow, those kinds of things.
Those are really important skills. And
Yes.
Shaya, do you work mostly like one-to-one with your clients, or do you also do like bigger sessions, that type of?
Um, I actually have a couple of larger sessions that I am planning to do, and I don't mind doing those at all. I usually do a one-on-one. I really like to get to know my clients. I really like to know their goals and their objectives in life, and in business as well. So I do separate business planning and kind of work with my clients to show how those two are integrated, both your personal life and your business life.
Mm,
Being a business owner, even prior to this, I understand what it looks like to be an entrepreneur. And
wow.
so that's why, or one of the reasons why I wanted to really be able to work with entrepreneurs and small business owners and women as well to really help us to understand what that planning looks like. So I love to meet one-on-one. I like to get to know people. I'm a relationships girl, so I love to build relationships, and that's one of the ways that I do it. And I can really get to understand my clients that way.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
And
welcome.
we will focus probably mostly on your financial role, and
Sure.
but we also would love to hear a little bit about your other ventures, just to kind of
Oh,
scratch the surface. I also know you're a writer and you're an
yes,
author, and you did
yes,
publish a book, A Reflection of My Father,
yes,
Accepting the Past, Embracing Me, and Growing Forward. And
yes.
would you mind telling us a little bit about how that came about and why you
Sure.
book?
I love to. So, I used to write when I was younger, but just kind of here and there. I was more of an observant person, kind of sat back and just watched. But I always had something for my friends. My friends used to come to me a lot for their concerns or issues, things like that. And for some reason, I always had something to share with them, had something that I could encourage them with. And I didn't know what it was at the time, but it always seemed to be accurate, very on point. And so as I got older, I just began to see that a lot of women were kind of having those same questions, those same issues and concerns in life. And it just became a burden on my heart to be able to reach out to women and just really to encourage them.
Mhm.
And that journey just kind of led me to writing this book. And when I started to take that journey on my own about discovering myself, who I was, what my experiences brought me to, there were two people that it kept going back to. And those two people for me were my parents. And they both had such great impact on me. But the one thing I realized is that my father's position in my life was more significant than I had ever known. And when I realized how much his presence meant, I had to write about it. That's where my authorship came in. A reflection of my father came to fruition because of reflecting on how much he made a difference in my life. And so at that time, I was feeling really pressed to write, like it was crucial to where we were as women, as young ladies, and as girls. And a reflection of my father talks about the importance of a role the father plays in the lives of his daughters and how their involvement or the lack thereof impacts
Mhm.
their daughters as they grow into womanhood. And so I write about women's identity, about our self worth and purpose. And I encourage readers to do the work of self reflection, and my hope is that readers will go away with, after reading this book, with a better understanding of who they are and how their experiences and has shaped them, and feel better equipped and fulfilled to live a life that's full for them and living that life unapologetically. So,
Wow. I mean, I would love to read this book. I know it's available on your website. I did just post. You have your Northwest Mutual website in here. We also have your
yes,
own website for your other businesses here. So
yes.
please reach out and look up the book um, for Shia, and she would love to be connected with. You're also, like I mentioned in the intro here, you're a teacher, speaker, counselor, who specializes on women's emotional and spiritual growth. And you founded BBC, or Black Beauties
Yes.
Collaborative, a women of a color networking and giving collaborative. Um, and then you also founded 3M. Would you mind telling us a little bit about these amazing ventures too, Shia? I'm just like so
Absolutely.
impressed.
Absolutely. BBC Black Beauties Collaborate was something I started in 2020. Just I guess it was around the time COVID hit, and I saw that there were a lot of Black businesses that were just not making it. A lot of businesses closing. At least 40% of Black-owned businesses were closing during that time, and it was very challenging for them to get financial resources. And so, there was nothing I can do at the time, but I thought to myself, what can we do? How can we come together? And as women, and my heart is for women, but what can we do to come together as women and as Black women? Because there's a stigma about us not being able to come together, to work together. And so I really want to be able to work with Black women to come together to help build the Black community, to help impact families and empower our communities. And BBC was something I came with, and it's really about being able to come together to build. We're having our own separate things that we're doing, but coming together as a collaborative to help build our communities. And it's really about influence, and it really goes beyond that too, beyond our communities. We begin to reach out to other communities of color and then other communities in general. And so our mission is to build a collaborative that really impacts, empower, and restore hope in the economic and social integrity of the Black community.
Wow. Along those lines, Shia, Rhonda Chandler, who's out of the Pier, she started a beautiful nonprofit called Love in the Skin I'm In for girls of
Yes.
color. You might know about it. She was in the spotlight a few months ago, and she's saying that she would love for you to speak with her Black girls in her group
Oh,
at some point. So she's
I
just
would
shouting that
love
out.
to. I would love to, Rhonda, you can send me an email. I would love to be able to have a conversation with you and see how we can move forward with doing that. I would love to do
Oh my
that.
God.
And you can also connect with me if you want to get more information about BBC. You can go on to my website. I have a website for BBC. It's BBC One, and that's one spelled out, bbcone.shiabernard.com.
This is why I love the spotlight. I see these connections happening
Yes.
between business owners, between community members. I just love seeing that happening in real time. So thank you, Rhonda, for reaching out.
Yes.
And
Thank you,
please,
Rhonda.
please hop in and share your comments. Kimyat is just waving to us. And
Hi,
uh,
Kenyatta.
yep. And then now Kimyat is asking, with being a person that is involved in so many things, how do you manage your time, Shia, to make sure everything is successful?
I knew this question was going to come up. It's wonderful because I have teams that I work with. My financial planning business that I'm building is my main focus out on the side of ministry. It's the thing that I'm working with right now, and because it's so important to me for financial education, so that's my main focus. With BBC, it's something that we're still building. So I am definitely looking for women who have the same goals and the same vision as I do for our communities to really come alongside it. And it's something we can work together. I really believe that, you can't do everything alone. And
Right.
so I'm all about building teams and building teams that's going to work together. And so with 3 p.m., it is an entertainment company. 3 p.m., I have a wonderful team that I work with, and a lot of my work is on the front end, and then they kind of take over and get other things done. But they're just projects at a time, so it's not taking a ton of my time, but we're able to come together and work together, and that's the beauty of having a team that really flows together, that ebbs and flows together. And as far as the financial planning goes, I have a wonderful, wonderful team that works with me. Um, I focus on my clients
Yeah.
and getting some things done. And I have wonderful mentorship and other leadership that I work with regularly. I have a back office team that takes care of a lot of the back office stuff, a lot of the paperwork, so I can focus on my clients. So it's all about teamwork. That's
Nice.
really what's been helping me keep going. Yeah, and it's always a work in progress. So I'm still working on building it and working things out. And it takes a lot of long nights sometimes and early mornings, but
Sure.
you make it happen when you know and really really believe in what you're doing.
And I think it might be interesting for people to know how you become a financial advisor, or I'm sorry, financial representative, because you are aligned with Northwestern Mutual, right? But then you're
Yes, I
also
am.
you're your independent
Yes,
financial is it similar, you think, to like how a realtor would operate?
absolutely.
Okay,
Very
okay,
similar. Pretty much the same way. Yes.
okay, okay.
Northwestern is the umbrella that I'm building my business under, and I said yes to Northwestern because um, of the infrastructure. They have things in place. They're a wonderful company with a wonderful mission, and they support their business owners.
Mhm.
And it allows me to be able to do some of the other things I'm also passionate about, but also they really set you up for success. They really help you to build your business. And so that
Oh,
that was a decision that was pretty easy when I thought about it.
okay.
Yep.
Well,
And so if I mean, there's different ways. Some people we have an internship program. So if people are interested coming out of college, if you think financing is something that you want to get into, we definitely have an internship program that you can look at. Maybe you can reach out and inquire about that. And there's many different ways. You know, I've
mhm.
had a my mentor reach out to me and asked me about this career. And after going through the interview process and really talking about my mission in life and my mission for business, it really aligned with theirs. And so that's what made me say yes to this.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
It's
welcome.
it sounds like there's a theme here with, you have a team in whatever type of venture initiative you're part of, that you need other people. So that kind
Yes.
of segueing us into the next question, which is, it is so important to feel supported when you start your business. And that's something that comes up, of course, when we talk to business owners in Color Bold. And then that support could be formal, through a bank, through some type of economic development organization, a chamber. It could also be informal, which we see a little bit more with entrepreneurs of color. It can be family support, friends, that type of support. How does business support look like when you got started, Shaia?
When I got started in the financial planning or just in general.
Let's start with the financial planning.
Um, a lot of the support when it came to financial planning really came from, of course, the personal side, which was my husband. He was very supportive in me just really going out there and doing. You know, we had many conversations about finances and really making a difference in that area in our community. And so this was divine timing. It was perfect, the perfect opportunity for me to step into it. And so he was very supportive of that. As far as the company, as I mentioned earlier, there's a team from the very beginning that really helps set you
Mhm.
up and help you to really understand your business, your vision, your mission for your business, and what that activity looks like for you to be successful and be and maintain and be able to sustain going forward. And so this company has really, again, they really help you set yourself up for success. And as long as you do the work, it's there. You know, I mean that's really all I can say. It's just a wonderful thing, and so it's really important to have, again, as you said, the support, both the personal side and the business side. For a long time, I didn't believe I had that, in businesses before or in my careers, and so it's really refreshing to be able to have a team that stands with you, that stands behind you, and that walks through this process with you.
Sure, sure. And do you have also mentors in that? You've been mentioning mentors. How
Yes,
have
yes,
those mentors played that role? Because that's also another theme that's coming up in these conversations. How important,
yes.
you may not even call them a mentor, but it's like that person or those people that you kind of rely on for, hey, what will you do in this situation? Or
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do have a mentor in the business, but there's also coaches there. There's also a leadership team that actually works for the company. And then you have your other business owners who are there. So you have so many people around you who are building their businesses as well. So many people who are really rooting for you to be successful. And so there's so many people that you can reach out to, you can get feedback on, bounce ideas off of, and get creative with. And so there's support there. And I think for me, when we talk about mentorship, I'm really big on mentorship. And so whether it's in I had been looking for mentorship for a long time. And it was very hard for me to find a mentor. So even at this stage in my life, I don't think you're ever too old to have a mentor, especially when you're always changing, you're always growing. So you're always stepping into new places in life, right? And so so wonderful to have someone there who's been there, who's done what you're trying to do, that you can glean from. And so in this financial business, there's so many people there who are just that. their coworkers, there's other business owners, and of course my mentor who and my activity coach, and so many other things that are people that are available to me. And then outside of that, I think in any area of life, mentorship is very, very important. It's hard when you're trying to do things alone, when you're trying to figure things out on your own, especially if you're walking in an area that you've never ventured into before. And for me, this was pretty much a new area that I transitioned into. But for every area of your life, mentorship is always there or always helpful to the person who's trying to get there. And so, because I didn't have that for a long, long, long time, I wanted to be that for someone else. And so that's why I'm always open to mentorship, mentoring to help pull people up and help them to be the best that they can be in whatever area of life they're walking into.
Wow, that's really powerful. And then in terms of business support for your other ventures, did that differ at all since that was not necessarily set up in the same way as for your financial representative career?
Oh, absolutely. Well, for a long time, I had been doing things mostly myself, and it was hard. It took a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication, long days, frustration.
Yeah.
But in some areas, it was also fulfilling. It felt good to be building something that I enjoyed doing, something that I was passionate about. But it can take so much out of you.
Mhm.
Um, so when it came to, but with 3 p.m., it was a little bit different because when I really set out to start doing this, I started having people to come alongside me, and I was amazed. I was so amazed because it felt like the work that I had been putting in, joining up with other people in their visions, really
Mm,
trying to help as much as I can, it really started to come back. And I was so appreciative and just so thankful to be able to have a team that not only was ready to support, but who knew what they were doing, which made it so easy. And so, when I talk about this project that we have coming up with 3 p.m., it was easy for me to go in and say, hey, this is what I have. This is kind of what we're doing. This is my vision. And for the team to say, okay, and begin to run with it and say, hey, we can do this and do this, and we could do that. And, I got a phone call from one of my sisters who's also one of my team members. And we work together as a team. She's not working for me, but we're all working together to make this happen. But she called me and she just started taking control over all this stuff. And I was like, I exhaled, you know? I was like, you know, thank you so much for doing this. I really
yeah,
appreciate this. And she was like, yeah, yeah. I said, no, stop.
yeah,
Listen, I have to let you know that I really appreciate what you're doing. It is
mm,
very refreshing to be able to have someone that you can talk to and that can go in and get things done. And it was
mhm,
so important to me. It was such a stress reliever for me. And so I'm really big on teams. I'm really big on
yeah,
mentorship.
yeah,
It was a wonderful thing because, like I said in the beginning, I didn't always have that, and
right.
it's a lot to it, and it can take a lot of you. So that's why mental health is so important. Just
Yeah.
find your place where you can just really come and gather yourself, spend time with yourself to regroup, refresh.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Thank you for bringing all that up because I think,
yes,
I mean, to take that time also to build that team or build those relationships, I don't think not everybody may think of that as like, hey, actually that's actually something that would help your business in the long run. And so
absolutely,
those themes that you're talking about, this is research based actually. I mean, those
yes,
relationships, the team building you're talking about, the trust that you're building, that integrity, that will actually help your business in the long run to be able to have those
yes,
relationships and to have that expanded kind of knowledge for your business too, with the different types of expertise like you're talking about.
absolutely, absolutely.
So we're coming up on time. I knew this was gonna go fast because I knew it was gonna have so much to talk about. But goodness, we should do a 2.0 maybe. But
Sounds good to
anything.
me.
All right. Well, so I just wanted to ask you if anything that you would share, maybe focusing in on your financial representative role and your business there, how it's grown and changed for you.
How it's grown and changed for me. You know, it's still growing and it's ever changing, and still building, still developing. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to pinpoint a lot of things. I think
Sure.
the biggest thing for me is that I'm changing. You know,
Sure.
you know, and I think that's the biggest thing. This
Yeah.
is, as I mentioned earlier, this is a new place for me, a transitioning, and it's not that new, but it's new enough where I'm now actually working in this field, and I'm really able to, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to do this and to be able to go out and really talk to people about finances and how important it is. And just being in this industry just confirms to me how important it is for us to, you know, have coverage, for us to set things up for our families and our children to help relieve burdens off of them so they don't have to deal with things when we're gone, or to set ourselves up for the future. And it's never too early to start doing that. You know, you can do it for your children when they're babies. You can do it coming out of high school. So it's just so important. It just made my resolve in this area just that much more strong. And so I'm more passionate about it, which also says that I have to be more committed and more dedicated to making sure that I get this out. So again,
Wonderful.
long hours,
Long
hard
hours,
work,
a lot of commitment.
and hard work.
Yes. So if you
Mhm.
look out 5 years with your financial representative role and your business there, what do you see for yourself in about 5 years or so on the horizon?
In my finance business, I really see a business that has made a difference in the community, through education, through seeing more Black and women-owned businesses, but those that are doing it well.
Mm.
I see me impacting them to be able to have sustaining power, and seeing more economic advantages, and even to a place where there are other more resources for our businesses. And I want to be a part of that, helping people to get to that place where they're able to sustain and to reach out and to help others do the same thing.
Wow, you might be a candidate for Color Bold.
Well, all right.
Saying you sound like you have so much knowledge. It's amazing, Shia. I'm learning so much just listening to you. Now we are up almost at the 1:30 mark, but I would like to ask you if there's anything that you're particularly proud of with running your
Hmm.
businesses. It could be anything.
Anything that I'm particularly proud of. I don't know if I'm particularly proud.
One thing you're
Um,
proud of.
you know, hmm, in my business or just in general.
You can flow go wherever you want with that question. Anywhere.
I'm proud to be a part of a community where people are really open to helping each other. I'm proud to be in this space where there's so many people starting to reach out to each other to really help push them to the next place in their life, whatever that next place looks like.
Mhm.
I'm proud to see so many open hearts to really make a difference and to bring change. Um, that's what I'm proud to see. That's what I'm proud of. And I'm especially honored to be in a space where I can be a part of that same movement that's taking place.
Wow. Thank you, Shia. Is there anything
You're
else you want to
welcome.
add before we wrap it up here to fellow business owners of color in Northeast Wisconsin or wherever you are in the world, really? Anything else?
Absolutely. Well, I just want to say that, you know, to all those out there who are really, really trying to move to that next place, who want to start a business, who want to go back to school, whatever that looks like, don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to be creative. Don't be afraid to be original. Um, find your troop and your support. And if you don't have it now, you still keep moving, do what you have to do because it'll come, and find what your purpose to do, and have a resolve about doing that thing. And if when you have that resolve, no matter what comes, no matter what others say, your resolve will be your mainstay for doing what you're going to do, and you'll keep moving forward.
That was perfect. Thank you so much, Shia. Thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
part of this. And then we might
Thank you
have
for
to do
having me.
2.0.
Sounds good to me. I'm all for it. I just want to say hi to Kitty and thank her for just really introducing me to Colorball too.
Okay,
Kitty
Kitty
Johnson from
Johnson
Cat.
needs a medal or something because she's been pushing 3 business owners to
Wow.
Colorball to say they should be featured for the spotlight. So Kitty, thank you
Wow. Thank you,
for
Kitty.
really rallying around the business owners you work with. Yes, thank you Shai,
Absolutely.
for saying that. So that's Kitty
Abs-
Johnson from Cap Services.
Yes, yes. And thank
Yes.
you to my husband. I want to say thank you to him
Oh,
again, just
and
for being
thank you
so supportive.
everybody. That's wonderful. Thank you for everybody who tuned in today. I'm
Thank
going to put
you.
some links here after we're finished up, just so you can get more word about what Colorbold is about, how to subscribe to our newsletter, and then of course, if you want to be featured in the spotlight, please let me know or let others know who you think should be featured. Also, another shout out, tonight is a big soft launch event for Colorbold where you get to know Colorbold more from the inside. You can ask questions, there's networking opportunities, and you can win a $25 gift card. And thanks to Associate Bank, who's the sponsor for that event. And Shaia, again, thank you so much for being with us, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, Mia. Thank you, everyone, for having me.
Bye.
Bye bye.